Well, the New York Times is reporting that one of Joe Biden's senators has suffered more complications than previously known. Diane Feinstein is 89 years old and is currently the oldest senator in the Senate. She returned to work last week for the first time since February, prompting concerns over whether she is fit to serve as a California senator. Senator Feinstein was dealing with a case of shingles for a couple of months, which meant that she wasn't present in the Senate at important times when making decisions. Despite this, she does claim to the media that she hasn't been absent, but instead was working from home. But a physical presence is needed in DC, and the Democratic Party has suffered because of this, as the party only has a one-seat majority in the full chamber, so making decisions such as nominating federal judges has proven difficult. Diane Feinstein has already announced that she won't seek re-election for her seat, meaning she will retire in January 2025. However, her health is still a concern within her own party, and questions are mounting over whether the 89-year-old should step down now. The New York Times is reporting that Senator Feinstein has been more sick than her team let on. The article reads, "Using a wheelchair with the left side of her face frozen and one eye nearly shut, she seemed disoriented as an aide steered her through the marble corridors of the Senate, complaining audibly that something was stuck in her eye." It then goes on to detail that Ms. Feinstein's shingles turned into a face paralysis known as Ramsay Hunt syndrome and then encephalitis. The virus is a swelling of the brain and can cause lasting memory or language problems, sleep disorders, bouts of confusion, mood disorders, headaches, and difficulties walking. Senator Feinstein's team has acknowledged the veteran politician had been suffering from the illnesses, but continued to promote her welcome back to Washington. The Times article continues, "Many people close to Ms. Feinstein, a six-term senator, described seeing her operating in the Senate in her current state as frightening, a tragic end to a formidable career in politics that they worry is casting a shadow over her legacy and her achievements." More immediately, it has resurfaced questions about whether Ms. Feinstein, who has announced she will retire when her term ends in January 2025, is fit to continue serving even for that long. Even though Diane Feinstein is considered a trailblazer for women in politics, her own Democratic colleagues have publicly shared concern that it may be time to step down. California Congressman Ro Khanna wrote on Twitter, "It's time for Senator Feinstein to resign. We need to put the country ahead of personal loyalty. While she has had a lifetime of public service, it is obvious she can no longer fulfill her duties. Not speaking out undermines our credibility as elected representatives of the people." While Ro Khanna yesterday was more supportive, telling Politico that he was hopeful Senator Feinstein was able to fulfill her duty, but he also told reporters that he stands by his comments that she needs to resign. Even New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez believes that it is time, especially because Feinstein's absence in the Senate and on the House Judiciary Committee has been a win for the Republican Party. The Democratic Party had requested to replace Senator Feinstein on the committee, however, Republicans vetoed it. AOC wrote, "Feinstein should retire. I think criticisms of that stance as anti-feminists are a farce. Her refusal to either retire or show up is causing great harm to the judiciary, precisely where reproductive rights are getting stripped. That failure means now, in this precious window, Dems can only pass GOP-approved nominees." Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib also said, because Senator Feinstein was absent, Republicans are passing legislation through the Senate undermining the right of our residents to breathe clean air. And with the far-right judiciary targeting our human rights, we are unable to confirm judges. Senator Feinstein must step down.